Neale Richmond joins us. He is the Senate Brexit Committee Chair and, of course, a senator for the majority party. Neale, thrilled to have you with us today. All this comes back to is April 10th of 1998. How far is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom asking Ireland to stray from the Good Friday Agreement?
Well, certainly the plan, as has been laid out in the last 24 hours by the British government, is something that would move us quite far away from the Good Friday Agreement and indeed, most importantly, move very far away from the three pillars of the backstop in the existing withdrawal agreement that was agreed after 18 torturous months. Prior to that, back in December 17, the British government and the European Commission committed that there would be no additional border infrastructure or checks on the island of Ireland. Under this plan, as it is, unfortunately, they would likely return. Firstly, it would take the UK and Northern Ireland into a totally different customs component, but also the regulatory alignment aspect of it only details for agricultural products and industrial goods. It doesn't include services, and indeed there's a time limit and an exit mechanism allowed for the Northern Irish Assembly within the current proposal. Worth bearing in mind that the Northern Irish Assembly hasn't sat for 900 days, and due to its rules it could block this without a simple majority, just with the majority in one part of the community. I find
fascinating the trust and the nuances of trust right now. Is the distinction that Dublin doesn't trust the DUP and Northern Ireland voters on this once every 4-year choice that they get to make, or is it simply the lack of trust with the Conservative Party in London?
Well, it's not a matter of trust, it's about responsibility. So the British government has a clear responsibility as a co-guarantor of the Good Friday Agreement. The Irish government shares that responsibility as the other co-guarantor. Bear in mind, this is an international peace treaty lodged with the United Nations. It's the aspect, of course, market regulation and giving one side an effective veto, but also the aspect of customs that requires a lot more work and a lot more focus over the coming days.
Neale Richmond, I mean, if you look at the proposal from the UK, can they be the basis for further talks, or is it just something that, you know, it won't work?
Well, certainly I think we have the responsibility to engage in further talks to look at this properly. Taoiseach has already had a conversation with Prime Minister Johnson, with President Juncker and Michel Barnier. He'll speak with partners in the European Union over the next few days, including bilaterals with Nordic Prime Ministers tomorrow. Whether or not we take this further, I'm not too sure at this stage, but certainly it merits further attention, it merits further discussion. We have that duty to keep talks going in order to avoid a no-deal scenario, but the agreement or the proposal made by the British government as is certainly is not, it does not look like something that would be an agreement, but it might be a starting point to move on from.